mango Mandarin waffles. We'll see how this goes. I'm showing you different brands of coconut milk, and anyway, this is the one we're using today. You can see that there's where the coconut water level is and where the cream I skimmed off the top went to. And I've reserved the rest of the cream for later in a container in the fridge. This one, look at this. I put cream, exclamation mark, because it was almost all cream. When I put it in the, you put it in the fridge and the cream will rise and get hard and you can skim it off really easily. And this little bit was water. So this brand won like crazy. This was the best winner out of all of the ones that I've tried. And this one, there's the cream level. So in comparison, right? And that was about the same. And then these ones weren't great either. But anyway, if I were going by packaging, I think I probably would have went for this one, but maybe this one. This one's very attractive packaging too. But I never would have chosen this one. I don't know who decided on this green kind of theme for it. It doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for James. But wow. So this is the one I would recommend after having tried all these coconut milks. I'm just going to set this down and we're going to get started. I don't know what James has to discuss today. Probably something about the epidemiologist.
Yeah.
From yesterday.
But first, can we introduce Angel to the people?
We can introduce Angel and all of these dogs who keep standing on my table and spilling my coffee.
Yeah, but Angel is a double rescue dog. We've rescued her twice because she ran away and was gone for 8 months or maybe almost a year. Yeah. So yeah, I always try to underestimate figures. So people know that I try not to melodramatize things the way so many people do. Like the flunky who was writing a text and saying that in the firebombing of Dresden, this was 20 years ago, I think, this was a textbook for use at universities. 200,000 people were killed by those awful Americans in the firebombing of Dresden. When I was a kid, it was 50,000. So, in 30 years it had gone up 4 times. So 20 more years, like in another 30 years, and by 2030, if I live long enough, it'll probably have gone up another 4 times. 800,000 people.
Which is why, so many people today say, oh, you don't need to have books anymore. You can just look things up on the internet. Well, I was trying to look things up that I had found last year easily on the internet. Can't find them. I can't find them at all now. And I'm pretty good with the keyword searches, so unless I keep track of specific addresses or something like that of information, I don't know. But the thing about information on books or carved in stone or whatever, it's going to stay there more than likely, unless somebody burns the book or smashes up the stool. So
there are lots of book burners around right now.
But
they like stone smashers too.
So this
or they
whole
want to pull
trend
down statues.
Towards using electronic files instead of books is ridiculous. The only reason somebody looked into the energy consumption and found out that it was actually less environmentally responsible to read a book with an e-reader and stuff like that than to read a book. So the only reason to use electronic formats for information now really is because the information can be easily altered. So if you're the type of person who is an aggressive propagandist, electronic information sources are just great for you. If you can convince the public to go for that, well,
You can erase things.
Yeah, you can erase things easily.
It's like Fahrenheit 451. Only it's corrosion. It's not burning.
Yeah.
Of information. Slow motion. People don't notice it. You cook the frog. You boil the frog slowly.
Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. Anyway,
so aggressive propagandists, will just clarify, they are Madison Avenue types, but also a particular type of artsy kind of person who doesn't really care about reality. So often they're expressionists, or we might call them latter-day expressionists or something like that. It's just what's inside that counts. Reality, what's that?
Well, it's whatever exist. They manufacture.
Of course.
So it exists very much, but it is as they call it, right?
Yeah, exactly right. So there's a strain, I'm talking about it as though it were a disease or something like that, in literary criticism, very strong one. The smell isn't everything. That just says there's no such thing as reality. And the great thing about that is then they can make up whatever they like. Now, I don't think any view of the universe or something like that even comes close to approximating reality. But take the disease that I've got, multiple myeloma. I've actually got it. And someone came close enough to reality to come up with a treatment for it called melphalan. It didn't last long with that. And then they came up with something called Velcade. It lasted a bit longer with that, perhaps. And then they came up with stem cell therapy for it. Wow. You know, I was dying. And I had they were saying, I don't know if it was on the outside or minimum or an average, about 18 months to live. That was in 2011. How good is your arithmetic? People always say that, but how good is it? Well, it's been over 10 years. 2 stem cell therapies. And now they come up with something called monoclonal antibodies. And some of the symptoms that come with, at least certain people, or come with multiple myeloma for certain people, are associated with hypercalcemia, like the outside of one eyebrows going bald, or GERD. Those things with the monoclonal antibody treatment, they've actually reversed themselves. So those didn't reverse with stem cell therapy. So these are 4 different people, at the very least they might have been working as teams, came up with approximations to reality. It's not a cure. None of these are cures. So that it's not an ultimate sort of thing, but that's a lot better than some dreamed up factitious. Look that up in your Funkin' Bibles. Wow, anyway, that's someone I like, actually, speaking of. He's always been nice to us. He actually
really
works.
roaring there.
Yeah, he works hard. Yeah, he's doing that. But he's a worker. So, and they are located in the alley. So he's been very nice to both Polly and to me. Anyway, anyone else I see speeding up the alley? So factitious, some sort of factitious aggressive propagandists, and all their work is at best neutral. It's generally negative in effect. So do you have more stuff to talk about?
You wanted to talk about that
COVID-19. Yeah, so I guess there were demonstrations here in Alberta or a demonstration led by, I presume, something like an epidemiologist, some sort of medical doctor. I think it was only 100 people out. It should have been 100,000. And it's a little late. I don't want to criticize the person because the person, from what I can gather, is not a politician. I don't think stands to gain anything from them. And maybe lose, who knows how much. But what he's saying, I believe it was a he, is that Tyler Shandro, and we've actually let that guy off the hook. I haven't talked about it very much. The health minister in Alberta. We've talked a fair amount of it about Jason Kenney. He hasn't got enough airplay with us, given what he deserves, but we've got to deal with other things. In Justin Trudeau, and so on and so forth. Maybe we can call Jason Kenney Faith Jason. Jason means healer, so Faith Healer Kenney. And then the most vicious of them all, because we can kind of plead, or what is his name? Tyler Shandro? And Jason Kenney can plead innocence. Of course, if you're over 18, and you plead innocence, what you're really pleading is that other I word of 3 syllables, ignorance. But with Dina Hinshaw, they call her our top doctor here in Alberta. I presume she's got some sort of medical degree. When you've got the training, you can't plead innocence anymore. It's just out and out ignorance. She is, all of these people, and I'm using these people in a negative sense here, they are people that really should be able to do a citizen's arrest on them. They should be held guilty for whatever the laws are out there for wrongful death in over 2,000 cases. They should be in jail. Lock them up. Lock them up. Lock them up. As they were saying about Hillary Clinton, and they should have been saying about the person, Donald Trump, they were supporting. She should have been locked up decades ago for dealing with the mafia in New York and other places, probably Atlantic City as well. So lock these guys up. They should at the very least be subject to civil suits. I encourage people who've got the money, whose near and dear ones have been killed with the active connivance of Shandro, Dina Hinshaw, and Jason Kenney, to take these, we'll call them sphincters, to civil court and sue the stinking socks off of them. If the court system won't help them out in Alberta, take them to court federally if you can. Of course, the court system in Alberta would have been set up by these so-called progressive conservatives. That's a misnomer, of course. It's regressive conservative. It's formed from the uniting of two parties, the Progressive Party, which would have been a misnomer, and the Conservative Party, which was a fairly accurate description. It wasn't reactionary. Oh my God. The Albertans are strutting around thinking that they're Canadians are strutting around thinking they're superior to Americans. I don't know if the Americans had anything quite so openly fascistic for a provincial government or for state government like we had in Alberta from 1935 to 1971. Social credit government, the guy who founded it was blisteringly anti-Semitic. Major Douglas, he was English. Or this British Douglas would indicate maybe he was Scottish or something. But shameful person. He was one of the very few people who was more openly Semitic, if anything, after World War II and the Holocaust than he was before. And it was the inspiration, you could call it inspiration for the social credit movement here in Alberta. And then, you know, if that wasn't enough, people in BC elected
You wanted more waffle.
Elected a social credit government. They were in for, as I recall, more than a decade. Wacky Bennett, W.A.C. Bennett. So Angel wanted more waffle. Is that what you
did? I saw her hand tapping.
Well, clawing really. It's not tapping. She has this annoying habit of clawing. So,
yeah.
see?
Poor Angel.
Well, it's actually she was tapping. You're right.
Oh, there we go.
Trying to get your attention by tapping on my arm. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. Oh,
Opie, I wish
Stop
you'd
it.
stay off of there, buddy. It's, you're the one
and
who
then
always
Elvis does it.
Well, Elvis just doesn't have the weight that Opie does.
The table, I don't know, it's not level on this part of the deck. I guess we're going to have to
Elvis,
figure
buddy.
something out.
Elvis, leave the wasp alone.
Maybe we'll change the scenery to there. 'Cause it looks very beautiful out
Looks
in
nice.
the garden.
Elvis, come over here. Maybe people want to see some scenery here. Come here. Come here, buddy.
Oh, some handsome Elvis scenery.
Yeah, come on. This is the handsomest Elvis of all. More handsome than Elvis Presley. Someone once said Elvis Presley was handsome as 10 movie stars. This guy, at least 11. Right, guy? Very nice. He's so excited about being up here next to the waffles. It has nothing to do with me or Pauline. That he's shivering. Yeah. Angel was shivering when I first
Yeah, it's not cold.
No.
We're in a heat wave here.
Yeah, heat wave.
I've only managed to get the heat down to 25 temperature on the thermostat.
Yeah, inside. It's not going to get
this
lower.
morning,
No.
so it's going to be brutal. It just,
Well, it got down to 25 last night. It only went up to 29.
Yeah, you're right.
But I think it's going to get
Usually
up around
what
there,
happens,
29,
like, if we, because I didn't used to have a fan to blow the heat out, and my fan broke, so now I don't have a fan. And so what I'd find is it just keeps climbing. So when it's hot like this, it'll be like, if yesterday it got to 29, today it'll get to 30, and then, you know, it'll just keep going from there once it starts trending. It just keeps trending up. But anyway, I'm glad I was finally able to introduce this coconut cream brands to you. I mean, all of them tasted good. I didn't have any problems with any of these. But, yeah, all you do is you mix up coconut cream with a little bit of maple syrup and vanilla, and there you go. It tastes better than whipped cream, honestly. It tastes like Cool Whip, but better.
So here is...
oh,
sorry.
No, you go ahead.
This is Paris. She's Elvis's mom.
Oh, dear.
She went down there softly. But she's
blind.
Yeah, well, she's...
So she has a hard
largely
time
blind. She's
seeing.
got cataracts.
She's very clumsy now. She's...
Well, by comparison with what she used to be, she gets around very well.
I think that was
For
more
having
Elvis's
cataracts.
fault for shoving her, though.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't know what was happening.
No.
Oh, she's very determined now to get to that waffle before
Boy,
she
they
falls
both
down
really
again.
want the waffle.
Well, I mean, she's having a bad influence on him.
Oh my gosh.
I got to put her down.
Yeah, you have to Waffle.
There we go. Anyway, her name is Paris Belle. Her middle name is France, so Paris France Belle.
You're not getting my Waffle either.
We've had her since just after I recovered from stem cell therapy. So that was in late 2011. We've had her since early 2012, and she was 5 years old. And then, so she's over 14 years old now, and she really does not show her age. Yeah.
Wow.
It's just in her eyes and the cataracts.
A lot of white on the face.
Oh, more than there was, but she
even
still
has
got
white on the top of her head now.
A little bit, but you know, she still has a lot of dark.
Yeah.
So she's still very,
she's a
very
beautiful
good
lady.
looking.
But yeah, we.
That's where Elvis gets his good looks from.
There was an ad for Paris on Kijiji to give her away, and the people had been breeding her, but they got into Boston Bull Terriers instead, and so.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I don't know. Maybe that dog turned out to be a good dog. It was just
it was
a puppy.
young, so.
And
it was all.
So it was kind of used in Paris as a chew toy. Her ears were all.
They were a little scarred.
A little bit, yeah. But
didn't really show.
No.
But
and she didn't. I don't think she really minded. She'd be used to puppies mauling her and stuff.
That's her own puppies.
Yeah.
But I don't know what she would have thought of that.
Well, that Boston Bull was pretty big. It was bigger than her, so even though it was a puppy. But
Elvis, buddy, I'm gonna have to put you on ground here.
Yeah.
No.
It's not being very respectful.
No. See, Angel's minding her beeswax there.
Yeah.
There we go, Elvis. Sorry, buddy. Let's try Opie here. We don't know what Opie's real name is, but Pauline figures it was Dopey. But or do you want to tell the story about? No. Anyway, one of these days we'll tell the story about how Opie got his name Opie, and we figured it was Dopey. But he comes from Los Angeles. We live here in L.A. What's styled as L.A. It's kind of silly. Lethbridge, Alberta. So there's some people here that think we're kind of like the Los Angeles of California or of
Some
Canada.
people got him as a rescue dog, and he was just a little too much more than they bargained for.
Exactly right.
And
so,
he has come a long way over the years.
We will mention that he used to be on sofas and stuff like that.
And sometimes he still does. If he gets into his mind that he wants to revenge pee, he will. He'll be incredible.
But he's a lot better than he
He's a lot better than he used to be.
Yeah, he's shivering with excitement too.
Yeah, they like Waffle.
So he's, unlike the 3 first dogs we showed you, he's put on weight, but he's been fixed. And apparently that's something that happens oftentimes with dogs.
Well, it lost a little bit of weight this summer.
Maybe a little bit.
I'm trying some new things with their diet, but they were eating those beef liver treats, but we found that was not a good thing. They were wolfing them down too much. Blood in the stool.
Was that intended for dogs?
Yes.
Yeah, bad idea.
Yeah.
Because,
and so I started soaking them, and then I put them in the food processor to mince them up. And,
so there was significant blood in their stools.
Yeah,
so
it's not a good.
We can't mention the name for fear they
if
did
you
some
look back in the
advertising on it.
videos I showed you, got them from Bulk Barn.
But you got to watch it,
Yeah.
because we can't have dogs having that much blood in them. Poop,
That was terrible.
Hope for them to stay healthy. So it was more than one. It wasn't just this little one, but I think the big one there too, the biggest and the littlest. Anyway, Opie, when we saw him in the advertisement for dog for sale or whatever, or for giveaway.
I don't know. I don't even remember.
He had we didn't pay for him. I think it was just a giveaway. But he had the biggest ears going. I couldn't believe how big they were. Almost like rabbit ears. Easy.
But I stay away from Kijiji now because I feel too bad for the dogs when they need a home.
Yeah.
So I can't look because I can't do more than this. This is a lot of work. Right, Angel? Yes, a lot of work.
Yeah. So Pauline had Annafrid, who's down on the ground. I really can't. My back can't.
I'd need a farm.
Pauline trained her right from the get-go.
And a nice barn.
And she's very, very good about doing her doggy business outside. But you get a rescue dog or something like that?
Well, that's just it. It has become fashionable to get a rescue dog. And I think it's the Elizabeth Taylor thing. Apparently Elizabeth Taylor, when she'd have her dogs in a hotel room, and they'd just poop it right up. And the hotel staff would have to clean up after.
Yeah, it wasn't Elizabeth Taylor or Richard Burton.
No, they didn't clean up after their dogs. And so I think that really, now, lately, there's been a move towards people getting their houses clean. When I was young, I remember there was only one family out of all the friends that I had, one family who lived in the cul-de-sac near my house, and they had somebody come in once a week to clean. And that seemed odd to me, that having a cleaner, you know. But it's pretty common now. People have somebody else to come in to clean up after them. And it might not only be once a week. It might be every day, too, depending on who you are, what kind of setup you want. And it's, I would never do that. I would never have somebody. It just seems wrong. I mean, once you're an adult, you should be able to clean up after yourself. It's kind of a responsibility thing, you know? Anyway, I mean, nobody likes cleaning the toilet or cleaning whatever, but God, don't make somebody else do it. Why would you make somebody else do something that you don't like doing? That's not nice. Anyway, but I guess that's why I'm an amiable person. I'm in that corner, and I can't understand aggressive people, really, that, you know, anyway. So I think that's what it is, though. I think there's a lot of people that they actually kind of get off on making somebody else clean up their dog crap.
I'm not just
their dog's crap.
Aggressive rulers, but the aggressive propagandists.
And at the same time, they're thinking, oh, I'm doing something so good because I'm rescuing this dog. And it's like, are you? You're not the one cleaning up its crap. Yeah. So maybe it's your housekeeper that's rescuing that dog, you know?
For a pittance in these cases. Poor old Elvis, you got to keep your schnoz out of it.
So honestly, I think that's what it is. It's a disgusting thing. So honestly, don't get all self-righteous if you get a rescue dog. And if you are an amiable person and you've heard, oh yeah, it's so good to have a rescue dog. Yeah, you're hearing that from the aggressive propagandists. Don't listen to them. You're going to, if you get a rescue dog, you're going to have to keep on them. They will not ever be fully trained. If they didn't start out that way, sometimes you luck out, like